doing our very first video, our new to BookTube tag. I am Becky.
I'm Lindy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Ann.
And we are T-Rex Read. Okay, so the first question in the tag, which I'll link the questions down below in case anybody else needs to do it because you're new. The first question is, where are you from? We are all of us from the DFW area in various different spots. And the next question, if you feel comfortable with answering this question, is how old are you?
I'm gonna turn 16 in a month.
Aw, my little darling.
So little.
She doesn't like it.
So tiny.
So I touch her lots. I am 34.
I'm gonna turn 34 in a month.
Becky was born a day late, so I'm the same as her, 34.
She was born a day early. Next question is, why did you join BookTube?
Becky made us.
Because books and stuff.
Because books and stuff. Because we're nerdy and we like to gush and rant about books a lot.
That's true.
All four of us have gotten into hours and hours long conversations about many things.
Mostly Harry Potter.
Harry Potter,
Lots
there
of Harry
was a
Potter.
time frame where for these two there was a lot of Twilight discussion.
Lots
A
of
lot of Twilight discussion, a lot of midnight showings for Twilight. And also, I feel like YouTube is a little bit more interactive than a blog is, because a blog you just read and then leave, but this, like, you can make more comments and
see us.
because we're entertaining. Very entertaining. Next question. What is the meaning behind your channel name? We wanted to pick a name where we could each pick, like, a thing to go with it, so we could each have an avatar thing. So we decided, I think you picked randomly T-Rex Reads.
I didn't think anybody was gonna go for that because it's ridiculous.
My avatar is Bronto Incognito.
I'm the Dino Whisperer.
I'm Stegosaurus Wild.
Sudden but inevitable.
Sudden but inevitable. And then Trichops and Trilogies is not here and may not be here ever. She moved to Utah. Sorry, look, I was born there, but I don't like it when people move away. What types of books do we want to talk about here?
We're obviously going to be talking about YA books. Sometimes I will bring up comic books because I'm in a big comic book case right now. Some of us read middle grade.
She reads lots of middle grade.
grades.
Me too. She reads
Books.
Middle grade. I read a little bit of
Like
middle grade.
super little bit.
Percy Jackson counts as middle grade, so I read a little bit
What?
of middle grade.
Percy
Yes.
Jackson is
Percy
Yes.
Jackson's in
Yes.
the middle grade section of the
Yes, it
library
is.
and the bookstore.
I read the Apollo one the day it came out.
I'm gonna put this in because you're getting to know us, and this is what you should know. So one time I ran into Lindy at the library at like 3 or 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and she was like, "Oh, help me pick some books." So like we spent like 20 minutes. I helped her pick out 4 different books, and these are like big thick YA books. Those are on top of the like 2 or 3 she already had. So like I see her at church the next day at Sunday. It's like 11 o'clock, and I see her and she's like, "Oh, I really enjoyed those books you suggested." And I'm like, "Which one?" And she's like, "Oh, I finished them all."
Did you sleep?
I actually got like 9 to 10 hours of sleep.
She sleeps a lot.
Wow.
That's the problem with the bookmark question. I was like, I don't use bookmark because I generally just try to fly through it as fast as I can.
I use
So-
bookmarks whenever my kids are going nuts and I have to go, like, stop them from killing each other.
So
where
for
to go?
bookmarks, I do occasionally use other things as bookmarks, but hang on. So this is an old frosting tub, and so it's called Quitter strips, and so I have a lovely array of bookmarks. So I use them because I figure, like, I mean, look at this. I got a nice New Moon, Bella and Edward one back here. I got a Hermione one, Side Effects May Vary. Got a Yoda one in here. Got Hunger Games. This is the one I was looking for. This was one of my favorites because it's pretty.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
I use my library card on everything.
I generally like just like, okay, so I'm on page 217, great. And like I'll set it down
How do you remember that?
I do too.
because I only read one book at a time, generally.
Oh, I don't.
So
but I
that
do
brings
that.
us to the question, what book are you currently reading? And this is going to be a long answer for me, so I'll let other people go first. Lindy, what book are you currently reading?
I'm currently reading The Hollow Boy by Jonathan Stroud.
Doll Bones by Holly Black, The Mysterious Benedict Society. I'm reading a nonfiction book about gardening with children.
Good, because you have children.
Yes, lots of them.
None of the rest of us have, especially Lindy does not have, because that would be a little weird.
Go by Goodreads. Like I've been reading The Bitter Kingdom for years now. Lady Midnight, which I'm having by Cassandra Clare, and I'm having so hard time getting into it because I don't like the main character. I'm also reading a book called Ensnared, and I do not remember the author. I think it is Howard.
The author's A.G. Howard.
A.G. Howard, that's right. I was like, Ace something. I can't wait to get back to Morpheus because I kind of love that character.
So my list of books I'm reading, you can't probably see it on camera, but like it's really shimmery.
Becky's a liar.
Very slightly pearlescent if you
That's
look at
It
it
is pearlescent.
in just
Okay,
the right.
I'm sorry, other art major. So Beyond the Red by Ava J. This one's interesting. So it's like a science fiction and they're on another planet and there are aliens and people. They're not described as like looking really human, which is nice and refreshing because so often like the aliens are like, they look exactly like us. I am also reading The Madman's Daughter and I don't like that book very much. I'll give it probably about a 3 stars. Montgomery is the only character I really like because everybody else is a whiny brat or a jerk face. So there's that. In the middle of It by Stephen King, which is not a YA, and if you don't like inappropriate things at Stephen King, you should not read it. My husband and I are in the middle of the second book in the School for Good and Evil. It's A Day Without Princes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Did I finish things? I think that's it. What's the last book you read?
The last book that I finished reading was The Raven King. I just finished The Raven King by
You seemed very
by
excited
Steph
about it
Potter.
on Goodreads.
I was really excited about it.
She's gonna be putting up a review of it soon, and so it'll probably post before this video does, so we'll put a link down below.
The last book I read was actually a reread of The School for Good and Evil, the first one, because I listened to the first one and it was great, but I was a little distracted.
The last book that I read, I think the last one I technically finished, was Mila 2.0.
I just finished the first Artemis Fowl book.
Oh, so good.
Artemis Fowl.
So good.
I mostly enjoy the book. I really love his writing style. Colfer, is that his name?
Yes.
Yes. The next one is to show us your current TBR pile. So these guys are going to send me pictures since they don't all live with me.
These are the books mostly that I'm reading, so I'm going to start on the new DC Rebirth and get like 4 different titles from that, all focusing on all of my Robins. But this is really my to-read pile. I have The Lost Code, which
This
I
one's
got.
awesome.
That one is awesome.
That is a...
I really want to read this because it's got to do with Atlanteans. Oh, this is Ensnared. This is what it looks like. Pretty boy on the cover. And then Etiquettes and Espionage, which I have been meaning to read for months now.
So
So good!
And so funny.
I will also show you pictures of my TBR bookcases.
I don't really have a TBR.
That's not true. I loaned you some books you haven't read yet.
No?
Oh yeah, the Infernal Devices series. That's my only book.
Fertile Devices, I'm making her read it. Okay, so the next question is, do you prefer to own or borrow books?
I like owning books, though I mostly have to borrow them because I have limited money.
Because budget. That's the answer for all of us on why we don't own more books.
I like to borrow. But I will tell you this. If I like a book, I really, really like a book, I will go out and buy it after I've borrowed it.
Hardcover or paperback?
Definitely hardcover.
I don't really care. Whatever I can get my hands on for cheap, that is what I will own.
I love the feel of hardcover, but my budget does not like hardcover.
I'm one of those people that will like get really excited for a book and go out and buy it in hardcover because I don't need to eat that day.
Ebook or physical copy?
I do own a Kindle, but I really prefer the physical copy.
Ebooks are good for the library. No late fees. They automatically go back. If you don't finish reading them, you can, even if you have to get on the waiting list, you can recheck them. Ebooks are good for the library checkouts, but physical book.
Yeah, I like the feel of physical books, and I find that I remember the story better if I've read it on paper than if I've read it on an ebook.
I was really hardcore against ebooks, and then I needed more space in my room.
What books got you into reading? Goosebumps and Babysitters Clubs are the ones that I remember the most. Adult getting like really back into reading Uglies, but I won't lie to you, it was Twilight. I don't care what the haters say. Twilight forever.
The summer of 5th grade,
Ah.
I loved the Underland Chronicles. I liked it better than the Hunger Games. All the themes about war and all the struggles in the Hunger Games without the stupid love triangle. And I also Harry Potter and Percy Jackson.
My love of reading started kind of like really early. My mom would read us The Hobbit as we were going to sleep.
Because that's light reading for small children.
I come from a long line of readers and a long line of nerds, apparently. In high school, Star Wars. And flying, I'm there.
For those of you youngins, there was not young adult. There was like juvenile fiction when we were in high school.
Yeah, there was no genre for young adult, like Ender's Game. That was it.
How did you discover BookTube? John Green. And how did you first find out about BookTube?
Becky.
I think that's going to be the answer for all of them because, like I said, I convert people. I'm in charge. I forgot. It was John Green, and it was Margot and Aubrey from Epic Reads. Shout out to Team Epic Reads. For Tea Time, I started watching all the Tea Time videos, and then Margot and Aubrey came to my very first book festival, and I got a poster signed. I think they were just weirded out because no one's ever gotten like super geeked out to meet them. And then there was me.
I didn't start watching YouTube until a year ago.
Lindy is self-sheltered.
Yes.
Nobody did it to her. It's not her mom. Her mom's a lovely person.
I always knew that BookTube existed, but then I was just like, hey, I don't even know what this is. What is it?
And then I happened. Our last question before you can find where you can find us on other social media. Our last question is: have you ever named anything after a fictional? Have you ever named anything after a fictional character?
No. Never had a pet.
Neither have I.
Lindy doesn't like pets.
I don't like pets, so I don't really name anything.
You should never come to my house. I have a zoo at my house.
Pig, rabbits, turtles, birds, dog, cats,
fish.
Okay. I have a couple of things. So like my fish, which I'll show you a picture of, is named Magnus, obviously after Magnus Bane because he's like flashy and showy. He's blue, and Magnus's magic is always blue. My husband wanted to name the fish Flarp, and I was like, we're not naming a fish Flarp. Don't ask. It's a long story. And then my dog, who I'll also show you a picture of, is named Lizzie, which is because my husband and I were watching the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, so we named her Lizzie B after Lizzie Bennet.
One of our tortoises is named Voldatort.
The other one is not named after a book character, but is named
Rigatortus.
It's awesome.
One of our fish is a Severum, and it is named Severum Snape.
So I was never allowed to have pets as a child. I got a fish when I moved out. His name was Asheron until I forgot to put more water in the bowl. I don't do fish anymore either, so I name all of my electronic devices. My car is Nico. He is named after the brother of the main character in Rob Thurman novels Nightlife. My Kindle is Magnus Bane. My computer, Jace. The hard drive is Castiel. I've had a phone named Tamaki, which is a character from Ouran High School Host Club.
So the last question is, where else on social media can you find us? So for T-Rex Read, we'll put the links down below for T-Rex Read. For me personally, I'm on Twitter at Becky Savoy. I'm on Instagram under Chica Posh. Lindy's on nothing.
I'm on Goodreads under Anne Bro. My Pinterest board, I now have a board specifically for book fandom things, so you can find me on Pinterest.
I do have my own personal blog, which I post sporadically. It's barefootandbackward.wordpress.com.
Thank you for watching. Hi to BookTube, and if you have any questions for us or videos you'd like to see us do in the future, put your comments down below. Bye!